All
Good
right.
morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right. So I welcome you to this call, pretty much, and add everybody to the stage here. All right. All right. All right. So let's just wait for other people. I won't be waiting too long. Okay. So yeah.
What is missing?
All right. All right. All right. So we're starting in the next 2 minutes. I want to be sure everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, just go to the private chat and type in yes if you can hear me. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Precious. Good morning, Precious. So just going straight into it. I'm Daniel by name, Daniel Akuonjo, pretty much, and then I've been a forex trader for at least a couple of years now, probably 3 years, and then I'm just going to be breaking down a whole lot of things to you today. Okay, so and before I head on to the whole conversation, and then I start the whole class and the training, pretty much. I want to know where are you joining us from? I mean, I know a lot of people are from Delta and so on and so forth. Even someone from Abuja is here. So just type, let's know where are you from currently? Where are you from? Where are you joining in from? We have 3 people on YouTube right now. We have just 3 people on YouTube and over 100 people joined this call. All right, so we have people Jubri from Accra. We have Jubri from Accra. We have Delayemi from Lagos. That's great, great. Okay, so Lagos, Opebi, Kenya. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So now, not to waste any other time, of course, I'm very, very keen when it comes to timing. So I'm just going to go straight into what we have today. So it's pretty much simple, and all we are going to be talking about is forex trading. A lot of you have seen people tell you that forex is the key to to becoming financially free, having financial freedom and all of things like that. And they tell you Forex is this, Forex is that. So, but the main question is how do you now even make money from this particular skill set? How do you make money from this particular skill set, which is where I'll be coming in today to actually show you how to make money. How do these people even make money? How do I make money? Do you understand? And all those things. So, very first thing, without any further ado, okay. So, more people are joining in on more people are joining in right there on YouTube. Okay. So now we just have two people watching us live on YouTube. All right. So how many of us are from the? Okay, good. So I have everyone here. I'm be sure everyone who. Okay, so I can see all of you here on the backstage here. All right, good. Okay, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So we have just eight people watching with us right now on StreamYard. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six. So a lot of people are giving excuses to why they are not on the call right now, and then we don't want excuses. Okay. We just want to be able to, go ahead with the entire flow right now. So we have one, two, three. So can everyone see my screen? Can everyone see my screen right here? Can everyone see my screen? Everyone can see my screen right now. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so I welcome everyone to this particular first call, and then pretty much is going to be one of the best moments, as I have said, pretty much. So now let's go straight into what it is. So GFX community is just all about, all about teaching people how this skill set work, right? How the entire process, how do how do you forex trading and so on and so forth actually does work, right? So now it's basically just me being the founder, actually just teaching people, showing people how to make money the right way. Do you understand? So then, if we go into what we have here, we see that we are actually located in Lagos, Ikeja, and then the fact that we are located in Lagos, Ikeja makes it easily accessible. Do you understand? Make it easily accessible, okay? Make it easily accessible. And then for that, we are also going to introduce myself, of course. This is me here, Daniel Akowanjo. I'm a pro forex trader, a full-time forex trader, and I also trade crypto actively. I trade crypto very well, almost like literally every day or every week. And then, you know, I've been in this game for over 3 years now, and then I've actually helped over 100 people, okay, actually grow financially. And of course, I'm a network marketer, and then I'm actually a passionate individual for the success of others, okay. Now, if we go into the slide here, we will see something which is called the cash flow quadrant, right? Now, if you know anything about the cash flow quadrant, can you just type in the box? Have you ever seen something like this before? Have you ever heard of something like the cash flow quadrant? Have you ever heard of something like the cash flow quadrant? Have you ever heard of the cash flow quadrant? All right. So um, no. Okay, good. So pretty much the cash flow quadrant is just how everybody in the whole world, actually do make money, right? Now, first set of people that most people always want to be with or be part of is being an employee, okay? Where you work for a company and then they pay you monthly salary, right? Now you have a job, you have a secured job, right? And then, but the interesting thing is you have no leverage. What does that mean? It means that if they cut the job off from you, you are automatically done. You can't make any money. Do you understand? If they cut the job off from you, you can't make any money. Now, the next set of people are the self-employed, right? Now, these self-employed people are people who create jobs themselves, and then they are the boss, they are the CEO, they are the market. So the fact that you have no leverage actually makes you, if you lose your job, if your job doesn't pay you, you automatically are cut out of the whole deal. Do you understand? Now, the next set of people are the business owners. These are people who actually have people that work for them, and then they have a leverage, of course, because they have people who are working for them. And if those people can't work for them, they can easily employ another person because they have a leverage, they have what people need, and so on and so forth, right? But now the clause in that particular section is that you see people who have um this particular how will I put it, that are under this section, right, which are business owners. Pretty much you want to see that once they lose their businesses, or once they go bankrupt, they've gone bankrupt. There's nothing else that can really literally happen. If the person who is supposed to show for work today doesn't show for work, that particular space is empty. Do you understand? Now, the last people, which is my major concern here, is the investors, right? Now, when your money work for you, pretty much you get access to a whole lot of things like that. Now, if you look into it, what is forex? Now, this is where the whole thing gets interesting. Okay, what is really the skill set that we are talking about? What is forex, right? You might ask. Now, forex is just as simple as you can see it here. In 8 different ways, this is how to define forex, right? Now, first way is to define forex. Forex just involves the buying and selling of currencies. It involves the buying and selling of currencies. Do you understand? Now, Forex is also the largest financial market in the world. It is the largest financial market in the world, as well as in every day, right? Every day in and out, the market actually trades 6.7 trillion dollars. Do you understand? Every day, $6.7 trillion is entering and exiting the market every day on a daily basis, right? Now, the market is also a global market. It is not stationed to Nigeria only, or United States only, or whatever country only. It is also a global market, like I said, and then it is the first liquid market in the world. What does it mean by liquid market? It means it is something you cannot see, you cannot hold. Do you understand? But it is there. It is actively, it is actively moving. It is liquid. There's always movement in the market. Do you understand? Now, it operates 24 hours, 5 days a week, as well as it can be done on any smart device. That's the interesting thing about the skill set, right? It can be done on any smart device, your phone, your laptop. Even if you are using Redmi, it's not compulsory you are using an iPhone. You can be using a Redmi phone, you can be using a Techno phone, and you can still make substantial amount of profit for yourself. Now, which is interesting. Also, the interesting part is now people will ask, can't Forex just crash one day like CBEX, or can't Forex just crash just like other coins and so on and so forth? Forex can crash because Forex actually means foreign exchange, right? Foreign exchange of money. Now, it is very important to know that it cannot crash except if Naira. Okay, the network is not stable. Whoa, 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 that's serious. Ivan, now, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Can you all hear me now? Can everyone hear me? All right, all right, all right. Sorry about that. Nigeria is fogged up, so just please bear with us, I beg. I had to actually move from somewhere to somewhere else just because of network, so it's a whole lot. But yeah, it is what it is. all right. So network is really something else. Network is really something else. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about the network, guys. I'm so sorry. But I hope everyone can hear me now. I think we are good now. Can everyone hear me clearly now? Yeah, I guess everyone can hear me clearly now. All right. So sorry about the network and all this irregularities. I just have to connect to another you know. So let's continue from where we stopped. Now, DFX services just includes the fuck is this, man? Are we back now? Can everyone hear me? I think the network is okay right now. Can everyone hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So now going straight into the whole what forex pretty much is right now. It's despite the fact that it is all about buying and selling, right? I have to also bring to your notice that it is a part where you have to do a lot, right? Because it requires a skill set. It requires you to build certain habits. It requires you to be able to, know certain things, have an idea of a whole lot of things, and then be able to, be focused. You should be able to streamline your focus to a particular thing, right? Now, the very first point is you want to understand what forex actually entails, right? It entails buying and selling. Now, where do you want to buy? What are you buying? What are you selling? Okay. Now, what you're buying and selling is different currencies. Now, first thing you can buy and sell in the forex market is currencies. Another thing you can buy and sell are actually metals. Metals like gold, metals like silver, metals like any metal at all. Okay. Now, another thing you are also buying and selling, like in currencies now, is it could be the United States dollar. You could also see some things like the Japanese yen. You could also see some things like euro. You could also see some things like the Canadian dollar. You could also see some things like a whole lot of things like that. Just different things, right? But now let's go straight into it. What are the apps you need? That's the main thing. As Yahoo guys will say, what are the tools you need? But we are not Yahoo guys, we are fresh shooters here, right? So what are the tools you need? What tools do you need? And I'm going to tell you, you just need three apps. Three apps. Just three apps. Three apps. The very first app you need is your Meta Trader 5. Now, go ahead and actually write this down, okay? MetaTrader 5. I'm going to say what these apps are used for, okay? MetaTrader 5 basically is used for the execution of a trade. That is where you will buy and sell. That is where you will click on the button to either do buy and sell. So now I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like here. Now, this is what MetaTrader 5 looks like. Now, if you look at this particular point here, I hope you can see this app here. Can you see that app? That is what you need, MetaTrader 5. So go ahead and download it on your Apple Store or Play Store. Now, when you open MetaTrader 5, you would see something like this. You see something like this, okay? This is where you'll be able to execute all your trades and be able to make certain decisions of the market, okay? See the okay, so now the three number one is MetaTrader 5. The next one you want to download is the Trading View. Okay, this is how Trading View looks like. You can see that Trading View, that is how it looks like. You want to go ahead and download Trading View. Now you could also see that I also make use of MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Two of them actually do the same work, but different functions and different effect. But for you who is a beginner, you want to focus on MetaTrader 5, okay? And then download TradingView. And the last app you need is something called a broker. You need a broker. What does this broker do to you, or how does it actually help in the whole trading journey and all? Your broker is what connects you to the market. Without your broker, you cannot trade. Without a broker, you cannot even do anything in the financial market. So your broker is like your main connector. It is connecting you to the what? To the market. So you bring your money, you say, I have $10,000, and then you tell the broker that, okay, I'm going to deposit this $10,000 into this particular account. And then from there, the broker will tell you that, okay, we can actually help you, go ahead with what? With connecting this particular $10,000 to what? To the financial market, and then you can make decisions. Okay. Now, Trading View helps you to speculate the market. It helps you to analyze the market. I'll be talking about analysis soon. It helps you to analyze the market. It also helps you to be able to do what? To be able to make your decision. Okay. Make the decision that, okay, based on what I am seeing on this chart right now, am I going to buy or am I going to sell? Do you understand? Based on what I'm seeing in this market right now, am I going to buy or am I going to sell? That's a very simple question you want to ask when you are analyzing on TradingView. Okay, TradingView can be downloaded on your system. It can be downloaded on your phone. So there is no excuse. I actually can use TradingView on my phone anytime, any day, and I can analyze. Okay. Now, as a beginner, you might have issues analyzing, which is fine, but along the line, you will get used to the entire system. Okay. This is what TradingView looks like. If you come into TradingView, this is what you see first. As you can see, this is what you see first. You can see the XAU USD, the US30, the BTC USD, the USD JPY, Euro USD, Euro JPY, USD CHF, and all those things like that. Now, what do all these USD CHF and so on and so forth mean? You might ask. I'm going to be breaking down that shortly. So now, if you've downloaded these apps, let me know. Have you downloaded these apps? Have you downloaded these apps? Hello guys, have you downloaded these apps? Or you have the app already on your phone? For people in the community here, have you guys downloaded the app? And then can you show me with your phone? Can you just show me with your phone? For people on the call right now, show me the app on your phone. Show me the app on your phone. Just okay. Some of you are connecting with your phone, right? Some of you are connecting with your phone. Okay, I have it before. I have it, and then if you're not connecting with your phone, just show me the app. Show me the app. Okay, I have them. You just said he has them. Okay, 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 good. How about people on YouTube? Have you guys actually downloaded these apps? If you've downloaded these apps, that's fine. That's fine. Good stuff. So now, going straight into it, we are going to look into how we can, start making a decision of the market. But first off, if you don't have a broker, you can't trade. That's the simple truth. If you don't have a broker, you can't what? You can't trade. Now, I have a trusted broker that I use pretty much to be able to make decisions of the market, and then I have every opportunity this broker offers me. It gives me seamless withdrawal opportunities. I can withdraw as much as $10,000 within 6 minutes. I have actually gotten my money in my account. Does that make sense? I have gotten my money in my account within 6 minutes. So now I'm going to be posting the link here. If you don't have your broker account, you can go ahead and create this particular account with this particular link. If you don't have your broker account, you can go ahead and create this particular account with the link I just sent in here. All right, so the link remains https dot slash slash one then dot xnextract.org slash a slash eqni blah 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 blah. So now you can go ahead and create your account with that link if you don't have your broker account just yet. Now they help you with seamless withdrawals. You can withdraw your money anytime, any day, and then you are good to go without any excuse. Okay. Now I think the network is very, very good now. The network is very good, very good, very good. All right. So now so the real business is how can we even start trading? Do you understand? That's where the real business is. How do I even start trading? How do I do all of things like that and so on and so forth? Now, I'm going to make it simple as possible. I'm going to make it simple as possible. First thing first is you need to be able to develop a strategy. You understand? You don't want to come into the market without the idea of what you are doing. I hope that makes sense. You want to have an idea of what you are doing because in the market here, it is brutal. It can take your money away in minutes, in seconds. That's the truth. Okay. So, but you want to be able to do what? Come into the market with the knowledge, know what you are doing before you click on that buy or sell button. Now, after this call or this session, it doesn't mean you automatically have become a forex trader. What it only means is that it has propelled you to be able to see what forex really is. And then what will determine if you will become a forex trader is what you do after this call. What exercises do you do after this call? How do you wake up in the morning after you've taken your beats and you've prayed and you've done so on and so forth? Are you the one that is just going to go ahead and go and gist or start scrolling on social media? or you will be the one to be on the charts practicing what you've learned? Do you understand? The first thing is there's going to be two type of people that's going to leave this call. People who will go ahead and start taking steps and start making decisions and start doing rather than complaining. And there are people that will just automatically neglect this call. That's the blunt truth. But the point is, where would you be? Which part of this group would you actually be? So as not to just be talking story too much. Let's go now. For you to be able to analyze the market on trading view, you need to have the idea of two things. First thing first, technical analysis. I hope you're writing that down. I'm already giving out the gems already. So, like I said, I'm not going to hold back anything. So, I'm not going to hold back anything. Okay. So, first thing first is you need a technical analysis. First thing first, you need a technical analysis. Then, second thing, you need to have the knowledge of you need to have the knowledge of fundamental analysis. Okay. Now, with the knowledge of fundamental analysis, you'll be able to know what to do and what not to do. With these two analyses, technical and fundamental analysis, you have to be very, very, very good. Okay, you have to be very, very precise with your fundamentals. You have to be very, very precise with your technical analysis. Now, what does technical analysis involves, right? Technical analysis involve what you already know from secondary school, what they taught everybody. I'm sure everybody here went through secondary school. You knew they taught us in economics what supply and demand is. Anybody? What is supply and demand? Let's see. Let's refresh our memory. Yes, my broker is the same as XNES app. Yes. So what is supply and demand? Anybody? Anybody? What is supply and demand? You can just type in the, or you can unmute for people on the call. What do you remember supply and demand to be? For people on the call, you can unmute. What do you understand supply and demand to be? Like I said, it's a class. It's a webinar, right? It's not just me coming here to sell you a course or tell you about my services or collect money from you. No, this is an interactive session, okay? It's a class. That's the way you go to your classroom. But this one is more practical. Do you understand? So, what do you understand supply and demand to be? What do you understand supply and demand to be? Anybody? Okay, nobody right here. Nobody right here. Now, supply and demand pretty much means in Forex. I'm not going to even go ahead and start talking about economics right now. I'm going to just go straight into what it is in Forex, right? In Forex, supply and demand simply means the point or the price at which certain people are willing to sell or buy a particular currency pair. The price at which certain people are willing to buy or sell a currency pair. Does that make sense? The price at which certain people are willing to buy or sell a currency pair. Now, looking at the charts, you will just see what they call candlesticks, right? Let me introduce you guys to the chart. Let me show you what the chart looks like. Can everyone see my screen right now? Good. So this is where you will be. I'm going to say this is where you'll be living if you eventually decide to take this skill set as something you want to focus on. Okay. Now, this is where you will be living if you decide to take the skill set as something you want to focus on. Okay. Now, I'm seeing someone say demand is how much product people need and how much they request for it. Supply is how those products are provided. Pretty much that is the economics terms, right? But when it comes to Forex, it is the price at which people are willing to sell and at which people are willing to buy a particular asset or currency pairs. Now, this is everything. This is all you will see. This is looking like, okay, what is all this? What is these lines? What do they mean? What do they mean? I mean, I'm just seeing lines and prices and all these things, and I'm just confused. That's fine. It is okay because what you are seeing here, it is just something we call candlesticks. Okay, everything you see right now on this chart is what is called candlesticks. Now you can see that I'm already introducing the chart to you. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to hold back anything. So now this is where we call candlesticks. This is everything you will see any forex trader, any crypto trader take screenshots of and post. Do you understand? This is where you will make money from. Now, but what does it really mean? What does this particular candlestick just mean? Right? How do you now look into these candlesticks and look out for supplies and demand? Like I said, it is the price at which what certain people are willing to buy or sell a particular currency. Now, looking at this, can we look at the top left corner? Can we look at the top left corner and see what we have there? Can you see what we have? We have Bitcoin versus what? The United States dollar. Okay. Now, I'm currently on the trade view on my system. And then for you to look for a currency pair, once you log in on TradingView, this is all you will see on your system. Okay. Now, then you just have to go to the search button, and then you want to know that everything you are doing on the Forex market involves, let's click on Forex, involves comparison. It involves what? It involves comparison. Okay. Now, when you are trading, you are actually comparing two currencies together. Now, look at what we see there. We can see the euro versus the United States dollar. Definitely, it means that we are comparing the euro, do you understand, to what? The United States dollar. Now, what does it mean by comparing the euro to United States dollar? Let's imagine, for example, Endurance is trying to travel from Nigeria to the United States. Do you understand? In the United States, they don't spend naira; they spend United States dollar, right? Now, in Nigeria, here we spend naira. For you to be able to travel from here to the United States and be able to spend their currency, you need to convert your naira that you have here. Do you understand? To what? To the dollar that you will be spending when you get to the United States. Now, what you have done is Forex. Forex. You've exchanged currency. The fact that you've moved your naira from NGN and you've taken it to what? To dollar, it means you've done what? You've done foreign exchange. Now, if you are in any European country and you're going to the United States, it means you have to convert your euros to the what? To the United States dollar. But now, where the interest comes in is, at what price do I convert this particular, do you understand, this particular currency to each other? Now, in the current state of Nigeria, how much do you need to get $1? How much in Nigerian naira do you need to get $1? How much in Nigerian naira do you need to get $1? I'm going to show you guys on the chart. So how much do you need? Let's search NGN USD. Good. So we have 0.00. That's for if you are converting from USD to NGN. USD NGN. Now on the chart here, you can see that currently $1 to purchase it, you need what? 1,600 and what? And 2 naira. I hope everyone can see that. Can we see that black line? Can we see that black line showing the current market price? Can we see that black line? Can we see that particular black line? This particular black price here. Can we see this part? Can you see my cursor here? That black one that is static, that is standing. That is telling you that what? For you to purchase one particular dollar, you need what? 1,605 naira. Does that make sense? But now, I want to bring to your notice that there is something we know as the quote currency and base currency. And base currency. I hope everyone is learning. I hope we are learning. We've gone 15 minutes on this call, and I hope you are not tired. Because I'm learning, of course. I'm learning. So now, there's something we know as what? The quote currency and also what? The base currency. If you're not taking notes, you are not doing yourself good. Now, when it comes to Forex, the very first currency you see, like this now, you see USD versus NGN, okay? The very first currency you see, the very first currency you see here is what? Known as the base currency. Does that make sense? The very first currency you see in a currency pair is known as what? The base currency. As you can see, EUR USD. Okay, EUR means what? The base currency, while USD, which is the later currency right there, it means what? The quote currency. Does that make sense? The quote currency. Now, but what does this literally mean? What does the quote currency and the base currency mean? It just means the exchange rate between these two currencies will okay. I hope everyone is here. I hope everyone is here. I hope everyone is here. Can you guys hear me clearly now? All right, good. So now, like I said, what this means is that what the exchange rate between these two currencies will indicate how much of the what of the quote currency is needed. How much of the what of the quote currency. Now, the quote currency is the second currency, right? Is needed to purchase the base currency. Does that make sense? So, if we go into the chart now and type and look at this, right? If we go to Euro USD chart, what does that mean? It means that whatever figure we see here, we come in, whatever figure we see that is being highlighted as this particular red one. Can you see that red? Can you see that red line, red box here? Now, that price is showing you that what you need 1.1249 United States dollar, which is the quote currency, to purchase the what? The base currency, which is what? The euro currency. I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense? This is the basics. You really have to pay attention to this thing right now. So I said that the quote currency is the currency after the very first currency. So you have Euro USD. Put Euro now, Euro base currency, while you're jotting USD quote currency. Does that make sense? Now, when you see a chart like EUR USD, it means that whatever price you are seeing that is reading there, it is telling you that that is the price you will need in dollar to purchase one what euro. So as not to confuse you further, let me go ahead and go to NGN again as we searched for it there. NGN USD. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Very simple. Now, look, using the knowledge I gave you, we are seeing what here? We are seeing 0.00582. What does that mean? That means to purchase 1 naira, right, which is the base currency here, and United States dollar being the quote currency, it means we will need 0.00582 United States dollar to purchase 1 NGN. Does it make sense? We will need how many? We need 0.000582 United States dollar to purchase 1 NGN. Now, the question is, what if we now have USD NGN? What does that mean? Anybody? If we have USD NGN, what does that mean? Let's search for it. USD NGN. USD NGN. You know what we searched for earlier was what? NGN USD. But now we are searching for USD NGN. What do we see here? You can see that. You can see that right here we now have what? 1,605. To confirm what I said, it is that you need what? 1,605 Nigerian naira, which in this particular written form now, the NGN is now the what? What currency is that? What currency is that? Quote or base? Quote or base? Quote or base, guys? Quote or base? Will it be the base or it will be the quote? USD is base, good. NGN will now be the quote. So now we need 1,600 and whatever currency to to go ahead and buy the United States dollar. But we don't have any business with the NGN because of course the NGN doesn't have much of the movements that we need to make money. The main thing we need is the world powers. We need what? The world powers. We need their currencies, right? Good. We need their currencies. We need currencies that move at every slightest activity. A lot of activity is happening in the United States. A lot of activities, a lot of companies, a lot of all of things like that. So, example of Forex pairs. Let's go. Example of Forex pairs. First one, Euro USD, which means the Euro versus the United States dollar. GBP USD, which means the Great British Pounds versus the United States dollar. EUR, okay, we've talked about that. GBP JPY, which means the Great British Pounds versus the Japanese yen. Now, you have the USD JPY. It means that what? USD JPY, United States dollar versus the Japanese yen. You have the AUD USD, which means what? AUD USD there means what? Australian dollar versus the United States dollar. You can see USD card. USD card means the United States dollar versus the Canadian what? Canadian dollar. Okay. Now you can see the USD CHF. USD CHF means United States dollar versus what? The Swiss francs. Okay, the Swiss francs particular, which is the currency they spend in France. Do you understand? Simple. So a whole lot of them like that. Can see you can see the pairs that come as far as I'm looking for what we've not talked about. You can see NZD, which means the New Zealand dollar versus what? The CHF, the New Zealand dollar versus what? The Swiss francs. Okay? I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Are we learning? So now, if you look into this particular knowledge I have shared with you this morning, you will see that trading forex is like you are working with the world. Do you understand? You're not working with any boss. You're not working with anybody. It means that you are working with the world. Do you understand? It means that you are working in the European nation. It means you are working in the United States. It means you are working in with the Great British. It means you are working in the Australia. It means you're working in any fucking country. Do you understand? Now, from this, now we can go into what technical analysis is. Technical analysis. What does it mean? Please make sure you're writing these things down. Now, technical analysis in Forex is a method, right? It's a way at which you do what? You speculate. The right word is what? Not predict. The right word is what? Speculate. Speculate. You're not predicting. It's not true odds, sure odds. No, it's not betting. You are speculating. Now, what are you really speculating? You're speculating price movement. Price what? Movement. Congratulations, we've gone 1 hour. And then I like the fact that everyone on this call have not left yet. I like the fact that we have a steady. I'm telling you, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. So technical analysis. Now, first thing first is a method of evaluating and, like I said, speculating the movement of price. Now, see pair. Do you understand? Price of the currency is pair. So just to just see it in one sentence. Now it is technical analysis is a method or a strategy or a way at which you evaluate and speculate the price movement of a currency pair. Now, by studying what? Historical price behaviors and patterns. By studying what? Historical in quotes, historical, okay? Historical what? Price movement and what? And patterns. See, I'm going to give you a quick scope that none of the people you've seen today will ever tell you. Forex is just like you are copying something. You're just repeating an activity over and over and over and over again, which is why they tell you consistency is key. You understand? Because everything you are doing on the chart is you are just trying to repeat the activity that has happened previously, historical. You understand? Something that has happened last week, you are trying to use that particular, that particular data to predict, not to predict again, speculate, right? To speculate what is going to happen at the current moment. Does that make sense? So the technical analysis is now the method at which you do this, okay? At which you do what? you evaluate, you speculate the movement of price of a currency pair by what studying the historical price movement and patterns. Now, it is based on a particular idea, right, that the way previous charts have actually taken place, it can actually provide a clue for what for the further and the future activity. Does that make good? So now, example of technical analysis, or don't let me even go straight to the example of technical analysis. Let's talk about what are the key things you want to know or pay attention to when you are using your technical analysis. The key thing you want to pay attention to when you are using your technical analysis. I hope you're writing these things down. I hope you're writing these things down. The very first thing is what? Historical data. Historical data. First thing first, historical data. Second thing is what? Price charts. Look at how the price have moved. If it's moving to the upside, where did it start moving from? If it's moving to the downside, where did it start moving to the downside from? Do you understand? That is price moving and then data and then candlesticks forming. Okay. Now we can say that we also want to pay attention to patterns and what? And trends. We want to pay attention to what? Patterns and what? And trends. If something is going up, trend is that. If something is going upward. Anybody? Sorry. If something is going upward, what kind of trend is that? Uptrend. Good. You see that? It's an uptrend. If something is coming down, something is coming down, that gives you what? A downtrend. Does that make sense? So now, in the aspect of all these, all these uptrends and downtrends, we want to be able to know that for you to be able to know this, it means you are actually doing what? Using technical analysis. Okay. Now, decision making is the next aspect, right? Now, after you've looked at the chart, you've looked at the historical data, you've looked at the trend, you've seen the patterns, you've seen how price reacted previously, you've marked out your supply and demand. The most important thing is what? Decision making. The most important thing is what? Making. It's very important. Decision making is very, very what? Important. Okay? Because during your decision making, that is when you will choose to either buy or sell at a particular point in time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Decision what? Decision making. Now, your decision is only two in the market. No, I'm going to say it's going to be three. Three decisions you have to make in the market. You can either buy, or you can either sell, or you can either not do anything and stay out, hands up like this, and just move your hand from it. You understand? You can either buy, or you can either sell, or you can either do nothing. Do you understand? I hope that makes sense. So you have three decisions to make. You can either buy, you can either sell, or you can either stay out of what of the entire chart. I hope that makes sense. So now, following on the technical analysis aspect, you also have to understand that it is basically something that can actually change the entire trading. Okay, it can what actually change the entire what trading for you. But what are the types of analysis that you, what are the tools that you will use to be able to carry out this technical analysis? What are the tools you will need to be able to carry out technical analysis? Every tool you will need is on what? On trading view. Okay? Every tool you need, every tool you need is on trading view. Every tool you need, like I said, is on trading view. Okay? Now, yes, precious, it is uptrend. So now let's go back to trading view. Okay, we are there. Let's click on one of these currency pairs here. Let's just click on Euro USD. So all the tools you need right here are sitting on the left hand side of the chart. Okay, all the technicals analysis tools you need are basically on the left hand side here of the trading view chart. If you are using your what? If you are using your system, okay, you can see it on the left hand side here. Now, one of the two is what? Trend lines. Okay, for technical analysis, one of the two you need is what? Trend line. One of the two you also need for your technical analysis is the horizontal ray. Horizontal ray. One of the tools you also need is your parallel channel. One of the tools you also need is your what? Parallel channel. One of the tools you also need is your fib retracement. Fib retracement. One of the tools you also need is in the chart. Okay, you need your trend line. Number one, you need your trend line. Number two, you need your horizontal rate tool. You need your horizontal rate tool. Your trend lines and all the lines you need are currently on the second tool here, as you can see. So you see them here, your lines, everything, parallel channel and all. You can click on the third one, fib retracement and all. And then you can use this one for projections to either go long. If you are going long, long position means you are buying, okay? While short position there, as you can see, means you are selling, okay? Long position means you're buying, short position means you're selling. I hope my network is good now. Can everyone hear me clearly? The reason why I am teaching you all this is basically because I don't want you to go ahead and just be copying signals. Okay? The reason why I am teaching you all this is because I don't want you to go ahead and be copying signals. You can be copying signals and be making profit. It is fine. But one thing you want to pay attention to is being able to be independent on your own. Okay? What if the person who is providing you the signal service is not available at the time? What would you do? What if you traveled abroad and you need some quick cash, and then the person you know provides signal is no longer there to provide signal for you? What will you do? So now, those are the important questions you have to ask yourself. Those are the what important questions you have to ask yourself. This guy said I will always be available by God's grace. So now you have to be available yourself, right? You have to be the one to be able to make the decisions, make the calls. Don't wait for anybody to send you signals before you trade, and then you will see the magic that will do for you. Okay, so I'm currently trying to plug in my system. Okay, so now I hope everyone have written down the tools we need for this technical analysis. Thank you very much, guys, once again for sticking to this point. You guys have really, really tried, and then I know it's not easy. So, but if you can spend 3 hours on this call, it means you can do more on your own while analyzing the market. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to use the trend lines. I'm going to teach you how to use what? The trend lines. Now, we said earlier that when a market is going to be upside, it means what? An upward trend. True of us. When the market is moving to the upside, what does that mean? An uptrend or a downtrend? An uptrend, of course, right? Good. So now, since we are looking at an uptrend, pretty much. Now let's look at this particular part of the chart. Look at from this point to this point. Or let's start from here, from this point to this point. Now you can see now this is how trend lines work. Okay, trend lines work by you connecting for an uptrend. Write this down. For an uptrend, you want to connect lows. For you to be able to draw trend lines accurately, you want to connect what? Lows. If you are in an uptrend. Okay? If you're in an uptrend, you want to be able to connect lows. Now, this is how you want to know that the market moves. Okay? Uptrends and downtrends. Let me explain them to you better. In an uptrend on the chart, price forms something like higher highs and higher lows. I hope this makes sense. This is how an uptrend works. Okay. Now, for a downtrend, price creates lower highs and lower lows. Now, this point at which I'm marking green serves as higher highs. This point I'm marking red now will serve as lower lows. Higher lows, I mean, not lower lows, higher lows. Now, this point I'm marking red on this other part here, which is the downtrend, will be known as the lower lows. Why the points I'm marking green at the top here will be known as the lower highs. I hope you are getting it. I hope you are getting it. Now I'm going to type in there. I'm also going to send a picture of this to the group so you'll be able to go back to it. Where you see HH, it means higher highs, okay? Where you see HH, it means what? Higher highs. Now, where you see HL, it means higher lows. Now, where you see LL, it means lower lows. Now, where you see LH, it means lower highs. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Higher highs and higher lows are what a uptrend entails. Lower highs and lower lows are what a downtrend entails. Okay. Now, your trend line in a uptrend can be connected two ways. Two ways. Okay. In an uptrend, your trend line can be connected two ways. Now, one of the ways at which it can be connected is connecting the higher lows together. Do you get it? Now, for the downtrend, connecting the lower highs together. Now, as a beginner in Forex trading, you want to know that you want to be a friend to the trend. Okay? If the trend is a downtrend, if the trend is a downtrend, you don't have any business buying. The only business you have is for sales. Do you understand? If the trend of the chart is a downtrend, you don't have any reason to buy. You're only looking for potential points to do what? To sell. based on what? Historical data. Okay. Now, I'm more practical. Let's look at this. This is a higher uptrend. Now, for an uptrend, you don't have any business selling. The only business you have in an uptrend is what? To buy. I hope that makes sense. Uptrend, you are only interested in buying. Downtrend, you're only interested in selling. Now, uptrend, you are connecting higher highs and higher lows. Uptrend, you're connecting higher lows, while downtrend, you're connecting lower highs. Okay. Now, when you connect your lower lows based on the previous data, this data formed yesterday, this data formed today, this data formed day before yesterday, blah, 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 blah. You understand? Where you now come into the market is that you will wait. Let me use this downtrend for example. Now you came into the market and you saw all these particular lower highs forming. Okay. Now you now took your trend line and you drew it from the first lower high that you could see there downward, connecting each lower highs together. Now, what your interest is you are waiting for what? For price to do what again? To come back to that trend line. Because I told you already that what? The market is based on what? On repetition. Now, when it comes back to that trend line, what do? You look for a potential confirmation to sell off the market at that point. Like I said, short position is what? Sell. Long position is what? Is buy. But since we're in a downtrend, we only have business with what? With selling. Do you see that? So you are only waiting for price to come back and repeat the same thing as it has done over and over and over again. Does it make sense? All you have when you are doing trend line is you are waiting for price to come back to that trend line and repeat the same thing. If you've been creating lower highs on the trend line, it should come back to create another lower high on that trend line and then shoot to the downside. What if it's an uptrend? You've connected the higher lows together. All you have to do is what? Wait for price to come back and tap into the trend line again, give you that lower low, that higher low that you need, and then you want to go what? Long from there. You want to buy off from there based on your what? On your confirmation. This call is being streamed and recorded on YouTube, so if you want to go ahead and watch it again, you should consider doing that. I hope what I am explaining makes sense. If you can repeat this pattern on a demo account consistently for a period of time, you will be very, very good with understanding how trend line works. So let's go to the chart. Now look at this. This particular point, you see price is pushing to the upside. It's creating an upward trend. So I'm connecting my trend line. First touch, second touch, and all I was expecting was what? A third touch. Now, on this third touch, price came back to it. What am I supposed to do? Buy or sell? Hello, guys. What am I supposed to do? Buy or sell? Buy. Good. Can you see that? Because price came back to touch the trend line. And now we can see that we hit our what? Our target neatly. We hit the target what? Neatly. Can you see? We hit the target neatly. I hope that makes sense. So let's go ahead and look out a downtrend. Take, for example, you see this activity here. Like I said, price, when it's a downtrend, it creates a what? A lower high. This is the very first lower high that it created, right? Then the next thing it created was what? A lower low. Can you see that? And then it came back again to create a lower high, and then came down to create a lower low, and then price came back to create a lower high, and then pumped to the downside. Can you see that? So if you took your trend line, connecting this particular low to this, all these lows to the second low, and expecting price on the third low, can you see that? You would have made good money selling this market. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Are you guys with me? Does it make sense? Hello, are you guys there? Can you guys hear me? All right. All right. So you can see that all these particular things I am explaining to you are simple things that you can do on your own. You can draw the line yourself. You've seen that it has created the highs, and then you can go ahead and just connect the highs together and then make a decision. It has created the lows. Go ahead, draw the lines, and do what? And connect the lows. Does that make sense, guys? So where we want to focus on next now will not be understanding how to use this particular data that we're seeing on the chart and what patterns can we use to make our decision in the market. Okay, there are different patterns. There's the W pattern, there is the M pattern, there is the head and shoulder pattern, there is the Quasimodo pattern. Like I said, I'm not holding anything back. I'm pointing out everything I know, everything that is making me profit, everything, everything I know. So if you're not writing these things down, then it means you aren't still taking this so serious. So now the W pattern. How does the W pattern works? The W pattern just forms like the normal W that you see here. I made 60 million recently using this W pattern, and I'm going to show you. I'm not going to hide anything. The M pattern works like this. The head and shoulder pattern works like this. Can we see it? I'm going to be sending these materials to the group, so in case you still miss it. Let me show you how I made 60 million using the W pattern. Like I told you, right, it is basically using what? Previous data to do what? To determine the future data. This is BTC USD. BTC USD is always moving, it is always active. Right now is an opportunity for us to trade BTC USD. It's always active. That's my pair. I love it so much, right? Now, I use this particular pair to make 60 million just by doing this thing. Just watch. Watch what I did. When I came into the chart, I went to something we call the higher time frame. I have not told you guys that. I went to the higher time frame, which is in the 4 hours, where each candlesticks you see here form takes 4 hours to form. Each candlesticks you see here takes 4 hours to form. So then I took my trend line that fateful day. I connected like this, right? Then I looked at it again and I said, and price was forming around here, the way it is forming here now. It was forming here. All this particular candlestick, all these things you see here, all these things you see here, it has not even played out yet. All these ones are out of the chart. So then I looked at it and I said, okay, you know what? I think there is a low here. Let me just connect it like this, right? Now I connected. Just look at it. Look at it. Simple. I connected this low. I connected this low, and I waited for the next touch, Abby. And immediately it touched the what happened? Did you see the shoot to the upside? You don't need any other thing. You don't need any big grammars. You don't need anything. So while I was looking at it, I was like, okay, what is happening here? Now, tell me you can see the W pattern. Can you see the W pattern already? Let me change it to line chart. Can you see the W pattern? You have to be able to see it very well. You have to be able to see it very well. This is the W pattern. Can you see? What do you see next? Can you see the W pattern? Sweet. No be say they tell me say anything. You understand? Now just simple thing wey you just see like this. You see am once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Do you understand? Once you're able to see it, you cannot unsee it. It's just left to you to maximize it. You understand? Once you see it, you've seen it. There's no two ways that maybe it's not now. You have to be ready to just go in. If you don't go in, you've missed it. And the thing is, once your speculation is right, you're going to make crazy money. Once your speculation is what is right. Now, immediately I saw the W pattern form. How you use W pattern is simple, right? You see the W pattern forming like this. You will not wait for it to form and finish before you come and start looking for how to buy. You will wait for it to see that it is already forming like this. Do you see? Somewhere like this. You see that? Then you just take your buy position. Pam, you see am, put your stop loss slightly below the low here, and then expect a push to the upside. You can either target 1:2 risk to reward, which means that you're risking $1 to make $2. If you're risking $20, it means you want to what? Target to make 60 million naira. For this trade, I was risking a 15 million naira. I was sitting on a 15 million naira account or something of sort. And then I took him long. Do you see? I put my stop loss slightly below this point here. And then look at it. Now, it should not look as if Daniel is just telling us lies. Daniel is just cooking Zobo for us. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and share you the entry points. I sent in the signal to the community. I told them buy at this point, and then you see that all those candlesticks, they've not even formed. All those candlesticks, they've not even what? They've not formed. Everyone can see my screen right now, Abi. Now look at it. Can you see my entry? Can you see? That was the line. Can you see the trend line? At this point, that particular entire structure have not even formed at all. Now look at how aggressive it bought. Can you see? Can you see how aggressive it bought? And once you are right, you are right. Once you've seen it, you cannot what? You cannot unsee it again. I hope that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I want it to make sense. I want it to make sense. That's why I'm sharing all these things with you guys. Now, let me take my phone and show you guys something. Let me take my phone. I think I have a screenshot of that trade. I have a screenshot of that trade. I think I have a screenshot of that trade. All these things I'm sharing with you, people charge thousands of naira to teach you. So it's literally left to you to maximize it. I take a lot of screenshots of my trade, so please bear with me. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to see where that BTC trade is. Okay, I think this is the video of the trade here. Let me see if you guys can see. Okay, this is the video of the trade. Let me play it again from the beginning. If you look down here, you see my entry points. Can you see those buy? Can you see those buy signals? Can you see how aggressive it was pushing to the upside? Can you see the account was at $12,000? It was from a $7,000 account. This is one of the accounts here. $7,000. Let's see. So you guys can see. Can you see $7,000 there? If you convert $70,000 to naira, you will see how much that is worth. Now, all those trades and all of this like that are not going to make sense if you yourself cannot reciprocate it. Okay, this is this is a 16 million naira trade. Can you see? Profit 16 million naira. It's not like they told you, or it is not real. Someone is asking, how then do you determine the point to buy or sell? Someone is asking, how then do you determine the point to buy or sell? Now, like I was saying, you want to wait for a thought. Okay, what validates your trend line? What validates your trend line is when you have two touches. Okay, when you're able to connect point to A to point B. You understand? Then when you get to point B, all you're waiting for is for what? For price to come down to what? To create a C, because you are focused on historical data. And just yesterday, or just few minutes ago, or few hours ago, price did what? Price reversed when it came to that trend line, created a point B. Now you want same activity to happen again when it comes down to touch and then bounces off to what? To create another low for you and then an entry point for you. Now, you don't just enter anyhow. I need to emphasize on this. Don't just enter anyhow. You want to see a confirmation. Do you understand? You want to be able to see a very, very good confirmation. You want to be able to see that, okay, now what confirmation am I seeing? Like I told you, number one confirmation you want to pay attention to that is common to currency pair, common to BTC USD, common to Euro USD, GBP USD, and all those currency pairs is the W pattern. See, my strategy on BTC tells me that if I have drawn my trend line and price come to my trend line, bam, I will not enter until I see a W pattern. If I don't see a W pattern, I won't take the trade. Does that make sense? Now, the only way I'm able to say this is my own edge, this is my own strategy, because I have gone to back test, I have back tested and back tested, and I have seen that what whenever BTC puts on a W pattern on it, make aggressive move. I want to quickly make money. I'm not here for the. Do you understand? I want to make money in the next 5 minutes. I want to make money in the 10 minutes. I can be analyzing all through the week, and if I don't see W pattern, I won't take the trade. Does that make sense? So you also have to be able to go back, look at the particular currency pair you want to decide on. The assignment for today's class is, after this call, go back to this video or go back on your own, stay in a place, and then look at all the currency pairs and look at which of them do you like. You understand? Let it come from, it could be from the name. You could just like the name. Wow, NZD USD. Do you understand? New Zealand dollar. You know, it could just come from the name. It could come from anything really. It could just be based on, wow, this is NAS 1000. Do you understand? This is US 30. This is XAU USD. Make a decision. Choose which pair you want to focus on. Do you understand? And then you can be able to come back tomorrow again to this class and then share with me what your decision is. Okay? That's the very first assignment, and that's a simple one. That's not something that's too hard. Now, what will determine what you want to buy, like I said now, is when price comes to your trend line and form a W pattern. If it is a sell opportunity, it is an M Now, if you take your W pattern and turn it upside down, it automatically gives you what? The M pattern. Okay? Now we could see here how I was able to use W pattern to catch this very nice move and all of things like that. So I'm looking for an M pattern. Do you agree that this is also a W pattern? Do you agree that what happened here is a W pattern? Do you agree? Do you agree, guys? Do you agree that what happened here is a W pattern? Do you agree? I'm checking the comments. Do you agree? It can be large, it can be tiny, and it can be small. I hope that makes sense, guys. Now, can you see the W pattern? Can you see how aggressive it pushed to the upside? So you have to be able to see it. And like I said, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. It is left to you to make a decision of the market. So for the next 1 hour that we have left on this call, I'll be taking it on questions. Okay. Did I answer Damilola question very well? And do you now know when to sell and when to buy? For the next 1 hour, I'll be taking questions. Serious questions. So far, I've dished out a lot of um, a lot of knowledge to you guys, and then this is I've showed you practically how I made money using this particular knowledge I'm sharing with you today. And then you can also just all you have to do is just replicate all these things. All you have to do is just replicate all these things. I hope that makes sense. So, um, first question, anyone, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What question do you have for me? Please, I didn't hear the part when you said you buy or sell. Okay, so I said that when you want to buy or sell, you have to connect your trend lines at first, then you wait for a pattern to form. Now, the only two patterns I have taught you guys so far is the W pattern and the M pattern, okay? And I told you that the W pattern has to form on the trend line and it's for a buy, while the M pattern has to form on the trend line and it's for a what? A sell. Okay, Buchi David said, if you took a trade and it was meant to go for like 2 hours or more, okay, then the rest of the question, will you wait? Now, that's a very good question. It depends on why you took the trade, right? First question is, why did you take the trade? Now, why did you take the trade? What is your target? What time frame are you trading on? Okay, if you're trading on the 4 hour time frame, it means that you are waiting for days for you to actually yield good fruit, okay, to actually maximize the trade. If you're trading on a 15 minutes um, time frame on the chart, it means that means you're making your decision on the 15 minutes, okay? What it means is that you're just waiting for at least 2 hours or 3 hours and you're done. If it doesn't hit stop loss and if it doesn't hit take profits within 2 to 3 hours, it means you are just in a consolidation or in a consolidating mode. And a consolidating mode is not good. You understand? So when you are already in a trade for 3 hours, sometimes it can still give good profit, but you can wait. But for me, once I see that it is not going my way, I will know that I'm in the trade at the wrong time. Okay. And I'm going to just exit and wait for the right time. Do you understand? So, how do you know the right time? You have to be able to practice the pair you are trading on. Okay. If you are not practicing the pair you are trading on, you will not know the time at which it moves. You don't know the time at which it will do what? It will move. So you have to practice it, monitor it. Some pairs move as early as 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's all. If you like, be coming around 9 o'clock. If you like, be coming around 12 o'clock. You will just be there panicking and losing money because the market already did it what? It moved as early as 5 o'clock. Secret here is for BTC USD, I look at 4 p.m. to 2 p.m. I can tell you that because I have a reminder that tells me it is time for you to trade BTC 2 p.m. Let me show you guys. Can you see? What do you see there? Can you see the time? 1400. So I know trade what? Trade BTC. So I know the time at which my pair move. I don't just come to the market and then expect it to just move anytime I like. I see whether it's my father that owns the market. Do you understand? So my daddy owns the market. So you have to also know the time at which the market moves, the market you're trading on. Okay. At what point do we know that it is going to be a continuous uptrend or downtrend on the trend line and not a trend reversal? Good question. How do you know that the market has gotten to a point where, yes, 4 p.m. and 4 p.m., not 4 a.m., 4 p.m. in the afternoon, in the evening, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon or evening, whatever time that is. So now, at what point do you know that it is going to be a continuous uptrend or downtrend on the trend line and not a trend reversal? Good. That's a very good question. The point still remains that as far as price has not created series of lower highs and lower lows under your trend line, let me show you guys. Now you have a trend line drawn like this, right? And then, of course, price moved like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, took it up like this, like this. Then it kept going like this. Then all of a sudden, you saw a break out of this trend line. Okay? You saw a break out of this trend line. What you want to do now is you want to pay attention. This is a very crucial part of the whole thing. You want to pay attention. Okay? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so you guys can hear me now, right? You guys can hear me now. Good, good, good. So now, like I said, you want to see that it breaks out of it like this. After that breakout, you want to see it form a lower high, then form a lower low before you can now consider a what? A sell. Does that make sense? Now, some people will tell you that you can do a breakout and retest. But I'm going to tell you now that breakout and retest is a trap. Okay? breakout and retest is a what? Is a trap. Now, imagine you seeing a breakout like this one here, right? Now, of the trend line. There are times that price can still come back again and create higher highs, ignoring this low, because there's something we call sweep of liquidity and all of things like that. So you don't want to be not losing your money, okay? You want to see a good confirmation, which is what? Before you sell, you want to see what and what again? Lower highs and what? Lower lows. Does that make sense? So if you look at this now, before we went short here, we've seen price form a what? A lower high here, right? Now price came down here again to form a lower low. Can you see that? Taking out this low. Can you see it? Taking out that low. Can we see that? Now there's something we know as a change of character, which is something here. Now, but you don't want to just go in and say, okay, it has break the trend line and boom, sell, sharp, sharp. It can work, but I've practiced it over time and I've seen that it is not profitable if you can't wait for the second low to form. Okay. Now, instead of taking your position there, you want to wait for another low to form, and then you take your trade like this. Let's be more practical. Let's look for it on the chart. Good. I've seen one. See, pay attention to this thing I'm sharing with you. It's a secret. I don't share all these things freely. It's a secret. Please. I say I'm begging you now. Good. Now, we can see that we have this trend line here, right? Now, from that trend line, we can see the price shot up, came down, shot up, came down, went up, came down, formed W pattern. Can you see W pattern here? Shot up again, then came down. Then this time around, it failed to continue. Then there was a breakout. Can you see that? Now look at that break. There was a break here. It formed a lower high. Can you see that? Then it formed what? A lower what? Low. What are you waiting for? The next thing you're waiting for is for it to form another lower high. And then if you took your sell, what will happen there? Would you have not made profit? You'd have made quick profit there. Can you see that? You have made what? Quick profit there. So if you are just waited for price to come and form the second low, then you just put your stop loss like this, and then you're good to go. Can you see? Quick 1:2 risk to reward, successfully done. See, you don't have to always catch the big moves. That's another thing. Okay, as a trader, you want to be satisfied. If a small move you cash, where you just make 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, now you cash am. Nobody say they give you signal. Nobody gave you signal. You took it yourself. You understand? You took the trade yourself. You analyzed it yourself, and you made the decision. That fact alone, that's how you'll be able to make 20 million. That's how you'll be able to make 50 million. That's how you'll be able to make 100 million. That's how you'll be able to make. This market does not just revolve around 10,000 naira. So you have to think big. Be able to see yourself being able to make 20 million when you have the capital. But for now, you want to be able to make 10,000 naira on your own analysis, using 0.01. If they tell you 0.01 cannot buy Lambo, it's a lie. Start first. Start executing those 0.01. Do you understand? Start executing 0.02. Start executing 0.03. Start making decisions. So did I answer Israel question? I hope I got the question right. What if one? This is a serious question. I'm going to come back to this question how about head and shoulder patterns? What does it do? What if one already opened trade on an initial upward trend and there is a change of character? There's a change in character. Good. That's why the market is versatile, right? Let's imagine you're not trading and then all of a sudden where you entered from is where you took your where price, like this one now. I mean, let's imagine now that you came to the market and then you saw this trend line and you were like, okay, let me buy from this point. Okay, you bought. Now it gave you little profit and then it came down to this, right? Now all you just have to do is just the next thing you want to do is just is what? The next thing you want to do is just watch. Okay, you want to just watch, see how the market will react, see if it will create lower highs, and then you can try again. To trade in a day on a pair is fine. Okay, if you eat losses for those two trades, you will come back and try again the next day. Losses are I answered your question, Damnela. Once a pattern forms, can it flop? Yes. There is no holy grail trade. There is no what? Holy grail trade. There is no holy trade. There is no holy any holy grail strategy. Okay. There is always something at risk. Was I able to answer Israel question? Yeah, I think um so for those of you us on the call, right? I want us to talk. You can unmute yourself and then I mean just share what you've learned today. Those of you currently live right now. Once the pattern forms, yes, it can flop. But always know that because it flops doesn't mean it will not work. It can still work. Okay. So I'm going to go with everyone in the call now. I'm with you guys. So, do you guys have any question, any contribution, anything at all?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning. Okay, my name is Israel. Um, thank you for what you just explained. Now, while you're talking about the trend line, all right, trend line pattern, there's something I observed. You talked about the confirmation of a trend line. For example, one upward trend. If it
Yeah.
touches the first time, you observe for it to touch again. While still on the upward trend, you observe the market price to come back and touch the trend again a second time, right?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
after the second touch, by the time you have a third touch, by the time you have a third touch, you cannot take the market. Right? You cannot come in, right? Is it after a second touch or a third touch? Because there are some what I observed in some of the once you do now. After the third touch, probably there was an upward trend or there was a buy up. But after the third touch, there's hardly a fourth touch without a reversal. Many times it's like it's already overbought or something. I observed something like that in about two or three trends you do while you were explaining. So I don't know if
Yeah.
there's some explanation there.
All right. So
Like
now the
so
explanation.
the question is sorry. So the question is
Okay.
like this: like how many times is the price supposed to touch the trend for it to be overbought? If it was an upward trend or oversold, if it was downward trend, so we cannot expect a reversal or
All right.
while also observing for lower lows and higher highs that have been created.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's imagine that we are trying to punch a wall. Do you understand? There's a wall in front of us and we are punching it hard. Do you understand? That is what the trend line is. There is a point at which you will punch that wall and the wall will be unable to hold the punch again. Do you understand? And there will be a break. So
Yeah,
now, sometimes the wall can differ. The wall can be a concrete wall that it can bounce off 10 times. I've seen trades that the trend line worked 10 times, but people are skeptical because they don't want to lose. So once they see first touch, second touch, the third touch, they take the third touch trade, they expect it to push up, okay, no problem. Then if price come the fourth time, they'll be like, no, I think this trend line is weak. Do you understand? Yes, it's a lie. The fourth touch, you don't know how strong that zone is. Do you understand? You don't have an idea of how strong that zone is. That's why your confirmation has. Sometimes your confirmation can be on the trend line and it can still break that trend line. So, but
true.
what I would just advise is you can just have, once you've seen your third touch, your fourth touch, right? Or the fifth touch. Just within the fourth touch and the fifth touch, that is when you should expect a break. But it doesn't mean that if you now see your confirmation on the fourth touch, you shouldn't take the trade. If it's an upward
Correct.
trend, if you see your confirmation, you should still take that trade, even if it ends
Mm.
up a loss. You understand? Because you never know. You can never know until you execute. Do you understand the idea? You can
Okay,
never
sir.
know until you
Yeah,
execute. So
until
that's
execute.
just the answer to that.
So at that point, we execute with caution.
Okay.
Maybe it's a lower size to see how the market goes.
Okay. You said
Is that,
what?
is
You
that
said what?
advisable? I said at that point, if you feel that the trend line is getting weakened, maybe in your mind, but once you see your confirmation, you can
Yeah.
execute with caution while watching your trades carefully.
That's a very good thing because of course trading is about being careful. You're not always going to
Yeah,
be 100%
yeah,
right. You understand? And money is
uh,
always in the line. There's always a risk. So
yeah,
if you see that okay, this is the fifth touch, right? Now there's something I do that is called the DCA. Okay, if you look at some of my trades, right, you will see how I enter. I don't enter all of a sudden. I sometimes, go in with one lot at first. Then after I see that the momentum is coming in my direction, I go in hard. Do you
doing
understand?
the dollars.
You
Correct.
have to be
Thank you,
able
sir.
to you have to be able to see
Mm.
that as well. You have to be able to see that as well. I'm coming. I want to show you an example. An example is this trade here. Now, if you look below, can you see? You see buy one lot, one lot, one lot. Then after that, when I saw that the momentum was on my side, I entered with my original lot, which is supposed to be a 10 lot. So I went in with 5-5. Can you see that? So, but at first I
Yeah.
wasn't so sure. So rather than risking all the money I have, I
Oh,
just
exactly.
just
Took a
I
cautious trade.
do you understand? Then just be able to just put it. It's a game of the mind, so you have to be smart. You have to be you have to be very smart. So thank you very much,
Thank
Israel.
you.
Thank you very much, Israel.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, go ahead, please. Yes, you can. Yes.
Oh, while you're talking about the tools we have to use in the, although I know maybe in tomorrow's class we talk about that, how we use that. If you talked about using parallel channel, horizontal range, trend line first of all, parallel channel, horizontal range, and field retracement. But you didn't show the field retracement in all what you showed us.
Yes, yes.
I
So
think you should have trend line today.
yes, yes.
Mm.
I'll be going in depth into the field replacement and others tomorrow. Okay. I'll be going into that.
Okay.
So even after tomorrow
Okay.
as well, I'll be dropping short videos on the group that we explain certain strategies. So even if we cannot fully see through everything tomorrow, we'll be able to just continue the
Yeah.
conversation on the group won't die after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you
Go
understand?
through.
It is going to be there. Nobody's going to have to pay for anything
Thank you,
except
sir. Thank,
to come ahead, and do stuff. Yeah, so that's just how it's going to be. So, is there another question?
thank you.
Is there
From
another?
on my end, no. For now, no. On my end, for now, no. Unless somebody else brings an engagement.
All right, all right. How about King Z? King Z, are you with us now? I think King Z said he was driving earlier. How about now? Are you the one that was driving? Let me check. Um, Someone was telling me it was driving. I don't know. So, anyways, is there any other question, guys? Is there any other question? Is there any other question for me? So I guess everyone understand everything we talked about today. I'm really grateful that everyone was able to join this call till this particular moment. We've gone 2 hours 21 minutes. That's like great. So 6 hours will be the total time frame for the whole class, and then you can come back to YouTube here to watch and then be able to learn from other videos that I will be dropping with time. Okay. So no question from people on YouTube, no question from everyone live here, or are people trying to talk in the um in the comment section here? If you're trying to talk and you can't, let me know.
Mhm. That that was how I wanted to ask me before.
Okay, yeah, Buchi David. So you're up now. Where were you?
Okay. Sir, about the stop loss and take profits, like
Yeah.
for people using lower accounts, like $50, $100,
Okay.
how do you calculate our stop loss?
Okay. So calculating stop loss. The market move with pips, right? The market
Yes.
moves not by you measure meters, yeah, right? The market moves in pips. So if you're measuring from one point to another with pips. Now, for your account, right? Rather than focusing on the pips, you want to focus on the lot size. You understand? And you want to know. I'm going to tell you guys this. Let me make my face big so that you guys will know very well that I'm serious.
Oh,
This is
I beg,
something
I
that
was that question. This stop
all
loss
around.
for small account. I'm not in people they make.
So now, no matter the amount of stop loss range, if you like, put your stop loss in 100 pips. Put your stop loss as far as that. If you are wrong, you are wrong. It can take time. It might take time before you come and eat you. But if you are wrong, you are wrong. Do you understand? You can set a 10 pip stop loss. If you are right, you are right. Does that make sense? Now, setting a 10 pip stop loss and setting a 100 pip stop loss will be the same thing. Imagine I have $1,000, right? Or you have, like you said, $100. Now, for somebody who is trading a $100 account, you don't want to do what? To be exposing your money to too much risk. You understand? You want to refine your strategy. You want to refine your entry point, a point where you can be able to risk $3, five. See, if you're trading $100, I won't tell you to go and be risking $50 or risking $10. Even if you are risking $10, you've gone against proper risk management. Do you understand? You have $100. I will advise you just risk $5. You understand? Per trade. Now, if you're risking $5 per trade, you now want to trade a pair, like don't go to gold, please. Don't go to gold. Don't trade gold. You want to trade a pair like GBP USD. Okay. Now, if you use 0.01 lot size, it will give you what? That means if you're risking $5, it means that you will be risking 50 pips. Do you see that? For me, I've refined my strategy that if I'm trading GBP USD, I don't have to risk 50 pips. I have known that if I can risk 30 pips or 25 pips, and I lose at 25 pips, anybody that is risking 50 pips, we also lose that trade. There is no two ways about it. That's why I said if you are right, you are right. If the trade you are in or you are on is a right trade, you are in at the right time. You don't have to ever, for no reason, go in a drawdown. No trader will tell you this. People have accepted drawdown as a way of life. It's a lie. It's not true. Do you understand? The market is built in a way that when you are right, you're right, and when you are wrong, you're wrong. I hope I'm answering your question, David. I hope I'm answering your question, David. So if you have a $10 account, $100 account precisely, and then you're trading GBP USD, please don't trade gold, don't trade BTC as well. Go to GBP USD, trade Euro USD. And now another thing I want you to know is the $100 you have, if you are just funding in, is not for you to make money. It is for you to build
to build.
consistency. Do you understand? You want to build the habit to be able to show up every day. You want to be able to build the habit to be able to use one lot size for a month. You want to build the habit not to you don't want to come with the mindset of what, of bringing that $100 and then projecting to turn it to $500. You want to come in with the mindset of what, of consistency, in the sense that you will be journaling each trade you take, consistently using one lot size, consistently using one pattern, trend line, W pattern, and GBP USD. That's all. Trend line, W pattern, and Euro USD. That's all. Trend line. You don't have to see, you don't have to even start looking for the almighty great strategy. If you document that process, even if you lose that $100 at the end of this 1 month or 2 months of consistency, right? You will know that you've justified everything you did. Every trade you took, every buy or sell you took is justifiable. Do you understand? You saw the pattern, you saw the W pattern, you saw the trend line, you saw the head and shoulder, you saw the trend line, you saw the support zone, you saw the resistance zone before you took the position. You can still go back to that trade, turn on your what's this thing called again? Your to see your what's it called, chart history, to see your trade history. Look at the entry point using that trade history and see that your entry point is where it is supposed to be. Does that make sense? I hope I've answered David's question. So David, your your risk shouldn't be much. If you're trading, don't let the society fool you. Okay? Don't be society help you get your $100. So now you find them yourself. Do you understand? It's you that know how you made your $100. It's you that know how you got the $1,000. If it's an investor that has given it to you, if it's somebody who has given it to you, it's you that know how you got it. And if you lose the money, it is you that will also still find how you will make that money back. So don't let society fool you. You just have to build what, consistency with time, and everything would make sense. Okay. I hope I've been able to answer that question. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Hello, David. Are you still there? Is David there? All right. So, is there any other question from anyone? So, just test your strategy. Go to create a demo account, right? I'm going to share a link to a video to show you how to create a demo account. Create that demo account. I want everyone to do that. Create the demo account on your MetaTrader 5. Or once you download your MetaTrader 5 and you open the trade, or you open the app, you will see open the demo account. Click on open the demo account, okay? And then tomorrow we will we will go in depth into how to really execute trades. That will be the first thing we'll talk about tomorrow. How do you execute trades, as well as how can you go from there? How can you now continue the whole process from executing, from analyzing, and so on and so forth. So, is there any other question, guys? Okay, Buchi is back. Yeah, Buchi, did I answer your question?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
please don't allow Twitter, Instagram, TikTok to fool you. Don't let them. I will never be a part of all these conversations where they tell you if you don't open clinical lot size, you can't buy Lambo. You can't. Now you know. See, it is everyone that knows how to get their money, right? So start there while you are in that one room. Be opening that 0.01. Be documenting it. Okay, be writing it down like that, like that, like that. And another thing is always document your trade. You don't know who is watching you. You don't know who is going to help you. You don't know who is going to come up and say, okay, what have you done? Show me proof. And I'm going to fund you with 20 million naira. You don't know. It is only when you have proofs, you have shown that you're profitable, then that's why I tell people that. I mean, I told you guys now that money is not the issue. Money is not the issue. The issue is, have you built consistency? Have you also built what? Have you built a strategy that works for you? Are you not trading with emotions again? Because trading involves emotion. I have to emphasize on this. It involves a lot of emotion. So you have to be able to does that make sense? So, um, is there any other question for me?
Hmm.
Any other question? Okay, so if no other question, and I want to say thank you guys very much for joining this call. It's been nothing short but interesting. And then I want you to know that I am committed to seeing everyone in this group grow. So make sure to don't miss any of the of the calls, which is going to be taking place tomorrow as well. And then I will just share in the link again. So thank you guys very much for joining. And I remain DFX, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow.